Alright, what's up YouTube? So we had to drop off here at Campbell's Soup in Maxton, North Carolina. Just dropped my empty, disconnected from it and everything. I've got my phone on a mount, so no worries. I'm not doing this illegally. Not taking any unnecessary risks for YouTube. I mean, hell, I don't even have that big of a following anyway. But anyway, so I'm going to drive back to Fayetteville, North Carolina. They wanted me to run up to Amazon in Greensboro and grab like 3 empties and bring them down here, but I thought, you know, I don't have enough time to do all that. By the time I get done, I'll be out of hours and I won't be home. So I'm gonna buckle up out of here and we're gonna bobtail out. And so you guys can just follow along. Readjust my steering wheel here. And yeah guys, so should make for a pretty long video. I don't know what time I'm gonna stop this thing at, but either way we're gonna get out of Maxton. My fiance, I've mentioned before, lives in Lumberton, which is just up the road, and I was gonna park there. However, plans have changed. I realized I had enough hours to get out of here without having to stop there, so you know what, I am going to have to stay here for a short 30-minute break, just because I don't have very many hours left until that break. But we're going to pull out of this lot and get out of these yard jockeys' way. And sorry about that engine noise, that is my engine fan. So yeah guys, so we just gotta run on back home now for the most part. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. That's one thing I guess people tend to forget about doing, so they just don't do it. But y'all are gonna have to give me just a second, because I am gonna have to get out of this guard's gate here, this guard shack, whatever you want to call it. I gotta drive up across the scale. So guys, we are out of there. So I got a little spot over here that I can park at for a little 30-minute break. I think this is the only time so far in my career that I have actually forgotten to take a 30-minute break. But let me just jump on over here and we'll make sure everything's good on the computers. So this is only going to be, hang on and it'll say how much time I got left on this. It's only going to be another 15 minutes and then I'm going to be able to get rolling here. Going to go ahead and have a stogie and then we're going to hit the road, guys. So stay tuned for the ride along, and you never know what you might see. But and as you guys can see, it is pretty dark. I mean, it is 8 o'clock at night, unfortunately. You know. So they called me when I was stopped earlier asking if I could bring empties down here, like I was saying. And obviously, like I said, I mean, I didn't really have too much time to do all that. So, I mean, I pretty much had enough time to go ahead and get my fuel where I was at in Gaffney, South Carolina, and then work on getting past Charlotte. Pretty much all the way from Gaffney into Charlotte was pretty bad. I mean, the traffic was pretty terrible. So that stood me up another hour and a half, 2 hours. So, I mean, otherwise I probably would have been home by now. But oh well, Charlotte traffic, that's usual. Nothing new there. While I'm sitting here, I think I am going to have myself a Coca-Cola. Turn my flashers off. I mean, my lights are on. It's not like you can't see me here. So, yeah, guys, not too much going on. Not too much going on. I am actually going to turn my radio up. My microphone is not working right now on my radio, so I have to work on figuring out what's going on with that. And then I might just replace the whole unit, the whole radio. I mean, the radio, the lights have gone out in part of the radio already. I mean, it was just a cheap $100 radio. You can buy them at every Pilot and Loves, every Flying J, every TA, you name it. It's just the standard Road King CB. Nothing special, you know. Just the company man special, as I call it. And something just fell out of my fridge. Watch out, Marley. Alright, now got myself a Coca-Cola. Here comes another truck. Coming to deliver. See how bright those headlights are, guys? This shit is ridiculous. I cannot believe that. I mean, some of the headlights they put on trucks and cars now is just ridiculous, man. I mean, that bright is just ridiculous. They ought to go back to the regular fulminant bulbs that they've had for God knows how long. I mean, the ones in this truck are bright enough. Then again, I guess if you can't see at night, you probably shouldn't be driving at night. But whatever. In fact, let me take this thing out of its mount. So this is what the dash looks like at night. And you see here, my 4 gauges, I've got one for suspension load. That's really helpful. Also, got a fuel filter gauge. It helps. Basically just to remind me when my fuel filter needs to be changed. Once it gets up there about the 10 mark, it's time to change it out. Oil temperature, amperage, and then you got all your basic gauges over here. And the yellow one you see there is just a lane departure system. It just tells you if you're going outside of your lane or not. It's actually very annoying, especially when you're in the wind, because the wind will push you to the white line, and even before you hit the white line, that thing will go off. I mean, it's just something annoying. It's nitpicky. And then the same thing for the collision mitigation system in this thing is really annoying. If it thinks that something is close by, it will stomp on the brakes so damn hard. And I'm not even kidding you guys. I've had this thing go off on me even during the winter. I've gotten it recalibrated. That doesn't change anything. it's just one of those things with these electronics they put in these trucks that's actually really more of a hazard than a help, in my opinion. But the truck otherwise is actually very nice to drive. It's actually very comfortable. I've had my fiance ride with me once before, and she enjoys this truck so much. I mean, she is able to sleep in the back seat when, or she's able to sleep in the sleeper berth whenever we're driving. Amazingly. I mean, I don't know how that thing doesn't beat her up, but yeah, guys, here's the gauges, and the green engine thing there. Don't worry about that. That's just the engine fan. And then, of course, you see here the PSI, the orange and green. You've got two needles in there. You can't see them because they're both behind one another, but there's a green needle behind the orange one, and that's obviously your secondary, and the orange one is your primary air pressure. But I figured you guys might like something like this. Seems like everybody does this, and everybody seems to enjoy it. And speaking of long-nosed trucks, there's one right there. Look at that beauty. That's a nice truck. But yeah, there goes day cab. I don't know what these guys are doing. I guess they're staging or something. I don't know what Food Lion's doing. But I am out of the way, so they shouldn't have any issues. You hear his tandems popping and locking. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna set y'all back up here in the phone mount. And like I said, we're gonna see how this phone mount works. It's not exactly the most impressive thing on the earth. I got 23 minutes on the clock so far for my 30. That'll be done here in a second. And no, this is not a beer I'm opening. This is a Coca-Cola, guys. Cold and refreshing, guys. One thing you don't get in most Freightliners, at least the older model ones. I don't know about the new ones. One thing you don't get in the new, older model Freightliners that I know of is 110 outlets, man. And 110 outlets are a huge help out here. I mean, I have a regular mini fridge in my truck. I mean, this is one that you would buy at Walmart per se, and just bring it on the truck. You know, you don't need an adapter or anything like that. It's just a regular 110 outlet. You can just plug it right in. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Now, like I was saying before, this company I've been looking at maybe going to drives this long hood Pete's like the one you saw just a minute ago. Their trucks already come equipped with a refrigerator. So, I mean, the thing is, with the mini fridge that I have, it is a little bit in the way. I mean, I can't get to my drawers behind it very easily. I have to move it sort of out of the way to get anything out of there. But, with that being said, it does fit decently enough where it's not completely a hindrance to any movement whatsoever. That's one thing about a Freightliner that I can say they did do pretty decent is, back in the day, I would normally carry a really large cooler, and you'd always have to fill it up with ice because the ice would constantly melt, you know. And ice is not cheap when you're at a truck stop. Nothing is cheap when you're at a truck stop. Do not assume anything at a truck stop is cheap, because it won't be, unless you have points saved up to help yourself buy something. I think the only time I ever saved any kind of money buying anything at any kind of truck stop was when I bought that CB. I had some points saved up. And I think I paid $90-something for the radio altogether. Which, I mean, was only $10 under the price of what was listed, so yeah. But for the most part, when you've got a Freightliner, you've got a little bit more space between the front seat and the bed. I mean, even with this front seat all the way up, the frame that the seat sits on sits a little bit too far back to fit like a really full-size cooler behind. So, I mean, I had to put it horizontal, you know, parallel to the bed, and that was a little bit of a pain in the butt to do with a Kenworth, but not too bad. I wouldn't say it's too bad, but either way, it's a lot nicer to have a stand-up fridge. You can just reach in, grab whatever you want, and you don't have to worry about it getting soggy because of ice. If I get a foot-long sub, I can take 6-inch half of that sub and put it in the fridge for later on. You know, you can't really do that too well with just a regular cooler, unless you've got something to pack it in to keep it from getting soggy. But otherwise, it will always get soggy. So, you know, you just pretty much ruin half of your sandwich, which was very disappointing the one time that I had that happen, because I learned after that time not to do it. But anyway, got 2 more minutes and then we're gonna hit the road, guys. 2 more minutes. And I know this video is gonna be pretty long. I mean, it's not gonna be a short video, and it's not gonna be no 40-minute video either, because home is about 48 miles away, and it is 8:16 in the evening on a working night. Well, on a Friday night, rather. So people are pretty much going to be coming out and getting stuff to eat for dinner and whatnot. It's not going to be all too relaxed, but when I get home, I've got a lot of stuff I got to do. I got to do laundry and other remedial tasks. But shout out to the fiance for getting me that Red Dead Redemption 2. That looks like it's going to be an awesome game. Really appreciate her getting me that. Really love the support that she shows for me. The support and love that she shows for me is honestly absolutely insane. And guys, getting a fiance, getting a girlfriend as a truck driver is not easy. Let me tell you. Having a fiance or a wife or a girlfriend as a truck driver is not ideal, man. Just because you're going to be gone so much. Especially if you have kids. I mean, you're going to miss out on a lot of things in their life growing up, which I have already thought about. And I've decided, you know, if my fiance and I decide to have kids at any point, I'm going to get a local job so that I can be there for their birthday parties and their sleepovers and all of that, because nothing would hurt more than to miss their growing up. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys, I love over-the-road truck driving, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But if I had kids, that's one thing I would trade it for. Because you only get one life to live, and it's not worth giving up on your kids' education, their lives, their bringing up as a truck driver. You know, no amount of money is worth that. So, although I think if times ever did get hard enough, I would probably switch what I'm doing now, or what I would be doing as a local driver. I would probably go back to over the road. But I've been looking, guys, and I've found one day cab company. It's not too far from where I live, actually. A place called USF Holland. And just so happens that they have a terminal not far from where I live. So, and the pay is not too shabby, if you don't ask me, or if you ask me, rather. Yeah, that's just one thing to look at in the future. I'm not switching to doing local work right now. The bills are just too much right now for that. My fiance still has college left to do, and right now I'm the only one able to pay the bills. And that doesn't mean that what she does doesn't help. Because, guys, she helps a lot. But we are getting underway, so I am going to stop yabbering away, because the last thing I want is to get into an accident while I'm recording a video, and then for them to say, well, you were yabbering on the video, you weren't paying attention. So, let me stop talking here, guys, and I will see y'all when I get home. beams on, and they're not the blue lights like you were seeing on the other semi that came in earlier, but damn, are those headlights bright. Son of a gun. Now, earlier this year, this whole area was actually underwater. you guys just caught that, but there was some lightning just up ahead. Left lane in. Oh, we're good right where we're at now. Hoping I could have been driving my motorcycle by earlier, by like 5 or 6, but oh well. That's not gonna happen today. Not today. It's alright. Tomorrow, and I might be able to squeeze in some bike time. Although I know I got a lot of stuff I gotta do. Gotta move furniture. Dang it. Heck, tonight ain't gonna be a restful night either. Gotta clothes back to my parents' house. What do you guys think about some music? Not that kind of music.
Slow me down, make me no time. Gotta keep rolling. Windshield wipers snapping out of tempo. Keep perfect time with the song on the radio. Gotta keep rolling. I'm driving my life away, looking for a better a cup of coffee, pop it down, jack me up, shoot me out, fly me down the highway. I'm looking for morning. I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me. I'm driving my life away, looking for a sunny day.
Change the song on you guys.
I was on the outskirts of a little southern town, trying to reach my destination before the sun went down. The old CB was blaring away on channel 19, when there came a little boy's voice on the radio line. And he said, "Breaker 19, is anyone there? Come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear." Well, I keyed the mic and I said, "You got it, Teddy Bear." And the little boy's voice came back on the air. "Appreciate the break. Who we got on that end?" I told him my handle, and then he began. "Now, I'm not supposed to bother you fellas out there. Mom says you're busy and for me to stay off there. But you see, I get lonely and it helps to talk, 'cause that's about all I can do. I'm crippled and I can't walk." I came back and told him to fire up that mic, and I'd talk to him as long as he liked. This was my dad's radio.
By the way, this is Wagram, North Carolina. My favorite little gun store is actually up in here. It's up here on the right once we get past these railroad tracks. Old town. Even General Sherman himself marched through here many a year ago in the Civil War, and it's only right down the road from where I live.
She says not to worry.
Yeah, see, there's a van right there. I don't know what the hell he's doing. It's right there at the gun store. Right here at the right, you see there. What in the world?
You see, my dad used to take me for rides when he was young. But I guess that's
I know where I'm at now.
There's that little crippled boy.
Here's your music out.
With me.
Yeah, Breaker 19 and this here is the Rubber Duck. You got a copy on me, Big Ben? Come on. Yeah, 10-4 Big Ben, for sure. If I got it, it's clean clear to Blacktown. Come on. Yeah, it's a big 10-4 there, Big Ben. Yeah, we've definitely got a front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we got us a convoy.
It was the dark of the moon on the 6th of June in a Kenworth pulling logs. Cab over feet with a reefer on and a Jimmy hauling hogs. We was headed for Bear on I-10 about a mile out of Shaky Town. I said, "Big Ben, this here's a Rubber Duck and I'm about to put the hammer down."
'Cause we got a little convoy walking through the night. Yeah, we got a little convoy, ain't she a beautiful sight? Come on, join our convoy, nothing gonna get in our way. We're gonna pull this truckin' convoy across the USA. Convoy.
Got a Breaker, Big Ben, this here's the Duck, and you wanna back off them hogs? 10-4 Roger, about 5 miles or so. 10 Roger, them hogs is getting intense up here.
By the time we got into Tulsa town, we had 85 trucks in all. But there's a roadblock up on the Cloverleaf, and them bears is wall to wall. Yeah, them smokies was thick as bugs on a bumper. They even had a bear in the air. I says, calling all trucks, says, "Here's the Duck. We're about to go a hunting bear."
'Cause we got a great big convoy working through the night. Yeah, we got a great big convoy, ain't she a beautiful sight? Come on, join our convoy, ain't nothing gonna get in our way. We're gonna
sheets and left them setting on the scales. By the time we hit that Chi-town, them bears is a-getting smart. They brought up some reinforcements from the Illinois National Guard. There was armored cars and tanks and jeeps and rigs of every size. Yeah, them chicken coops was full of bears and choppers filled the skies. Well, we shot the line and we went for broke with 1,000 screaming trucks and 11 long-haired friends of Jesus and a chartreuse microbus.
Yeah, rubber duck business, sodbuster. Come on, you 10-4 sodbuster. Listen, you want to put that microbus in behind that suicide jockey? Yeah, he's full of dynamite. He needs all the help he can get.
Well, we laid a strip for the Jersey Shore and prepared to cross the line. I could see the bridge was lined with bears, but I didn't have a doggone dime. I says, Big Ben, this here's a rubber duck. We just ain't gonna pay no toll. So we crashed the gate doing 98. I said, let them truckers roll 10-4.
If you like that, guys, I got a CD that was playing.
Well, I pulled out of Pittsburgh, rolling down that eastern seaboard. I got my diesel wound up and she's a-running like I never before. There's a speed zone ahead, well, all right. I don't see a cop in sight. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. I got me 10 forward gears on a Georgia overdrive. I'm taking little white pills and my eyes are open wide. I just passed a Jimmy and a white. I've been passing everything in sight. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. But it seems like a month since I kissed my baby goodbye. I could have a lot of women, but I'm not like some of the guys. I could find one to hold me tight, but I can never make my living all right. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. ICC is a chicken on down the line. Well, I'm a little overweight and my logbook's way behind. But nothing bothers me at night. I can dodge all the scales all right. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. Well, my rig's a little old, but that don't mean she's slow. There's a flame from her stack and that smoke's blowing black as coal. My hometown's a coming in sight. If you think I'm happy, you're right. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight.
Yeah, we're coming up to Rayford, North Carolina now. Almost into Fayetteville.
Hello, I'm a truck. You've heard songs about truck drivers, many times the story told. How they pulled out Pittsburgh for 6 days on the road, out that Feather River Canyon, and climbed that old grapevine, that old roadhouse down in Texas, and the girls they left behind. You've heard their tales of daring, and I think that's just fine. But if you could spare a minute, well, I'd like to tell you mine. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. No double clutching, gear jamming, coffee drinking nuts. They drive their way to glory, and they have all the luck. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. Well, there he sits in that buffet drinking coffee and telling lies. Probably telling them about that hill we topped 10 miles back. Or tell him how he missed a gear in that Volkswagen bus full of hippies passed us like I was sitting up on jacks. Or how he missed that curve over on 66. Hadn't been for me hanging on the shoulder, we would have both wound up in the ditch. We're on time, he takes the credit, and if we're late, I get the blame. Up those hills, the shutters open, my stacks are running flame. My tackle running red line, sucking diesel from the tanks. I'd take him south, bring him back without a word of thanks. Well, now you've heard my story, and I guess it's my tough luck. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. No double clutching, gear jamming, coffee drinking nuts. They drive their way to glory, and they have all the luck. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. Look at him sipping coffee and flirting with that waitress. And where do you think he left me? That's right, next to a cattle truck. My goodness, he put me over next to that little pink Mac. Gosh, she's got a pretty mud flash. Talk about stacked. They're both grown. Well, he'll be coming out in a minute. He'll get that bar and he'll go around and beat on my tires. You know, for 2 pints of diesel, well, I'd have a flat on the inside dual. Ha! Boy, that would fix it. I never did like the way he drives anyhow. Thinks he's God's gift to waitresses. Never gives them a tip. Well, I know what he's going to do now. Take out that tape cartridge and buck on and play it again. I don't know why he don't get on Pearl Haggard tape.
Well, when I was just a little bitty kid, I remember one time Mama said that he sent you all of his love from Crystal Bay. I didn't understand till I was grown why my daddy didn't spend some time at home, still run around the country kind of way. Whoa, I'm looking at the world through a windshield, and I see everything in a little bit different light. I got a sweet little thing I want to see in Atlanta. I'm down around Dallas, rolling on south tonight. Long strips of rubber that you see were burned off this rig by the likes of me. They'll rot along the highways in this land. Wanna sign my name in that diesel smoke and let the ones that come along behind me choke and beat this pace I'm setting every time they can. Oh, I'm looking at the world through the windshield, watching it fly by me on the right. I got a sweet little thing I'm wanting to see in Memphis tonight. I'm down around Dallas, rolling on south tonight. Well, I pushed this rig through sleet and rain, and I've driven through the rough terrain of the Rockies to the docks of old L.A. And on down that old Pacific shore, swing north and run for Baltimore, somewhere about 2,000 miles away. Whoa, I'm looking at the world through the windshield, watching it fly by me on the right. I got a sweet little thing I'm wanting to see in Nashville. Now down around Dallas, rolling on south.
them burly men who move those trucks along. Listen, you'll get thankful when you hear my song. You've really got it made if you're hauling goods any place on earth except those Haynesville woods. It's a stretch of road up north in Maine that's never, ever, ever seen a smile. If they buried all the truckers lost in them woods, there'd be a tombstone every mile. When you're loaded with potatoes and you're driving down, you gotta drive that road to get to Boston town. When it's winter up in Maine, better think it over twice. Now Haynesville Road is just a ribbon of ice. It's a stretch of road up north in Maine that's never, ever, ever seen a smile. If they buried all the truckers lost in them woods, there'd be a tombstone every mile. When you're talking to a trucker that's been hauling goods along that stretch of road they call the Haynesville Woods, he'll tell you that dying and going down below is not as bad as driving on that road of ice and snow. It's a stretch of road up north in Maine that's never, ever, ever seen a smile. If they buried all the truckers lost in them woods, there'd be a tombstone every mile. There'd be a tombstone every mile.
I was out on the West Coast trying to make a buck, and things didn't work out. I was down on my luck. Got tired of roaming and bumming around, so I started thumbing back east toward my hometown. Made a lot of miles the first 2 days, and I figured I'd be home in a week if my luck held out this way. But the third night I got stranded way out of town at a cold, lonely crossroads. Rain was pouring down. I was hungry and freezing, done caught a chill, when the lights of a big semi topped the hill. Lord, I sure was glad to hear them air brakes come on. And I climbed in that cab where I knew it'd be warm. At the wheel sat a big man. He weighed about 210. He stuck out his hand and said with a grin, "Big Joe's the name." I told him mine, and he said the name of my rig is Phantom 309. Well, I asked him why he called his rig such a name. He said, "Son, this old Mac can put 'em all to shame. There ain't a driver or a rig a-running any line that's seen nothing but taillights from Phantom 309. Well, we rode and talked the better part of the night when the lights of a truck stop came in sight. He said, "I'm sorry, son, this is as far as you go, 'cause I gotta make a turn just on up the road." Well, he tossed me a dime as he pulled her in low and said, "Have yourself a hot cup on old Big Joe." When Joe and his rig roared out into the night, in nothing flat, he was clean out of sight. Well, I went inside and ordered me a cup, told the waiter Big Joe was setting me up. Oh, you could have heard a pin drop. It got deathly quiet, and the waiter's face turned kind of white. "Well, did I say something wrong?" I said with a halfway grin. He said, "No, this happens every now and then. Every driver in here knows Big Joe. But son, let me tell you what happened about 10 years ago. At the crossroads tonight where you flagged him down."
Well, there goes the headlight again.
The kids are coming from town.
My other headlight works, guys, so I know it looks dark, but I promise you it's not. My right light works, but my one on the left has been doing this for a while. I don't know what's going on with this thing. And go figure, it happened not far from home. Oh well, I'm not stopping because I got someplace to be. I know it, guys, trust me, I know it looks dark now. I truly understand that. Do not get me wrong. But on my end, you guys don't see the the camera doesn't pick it up like I do. It's not that bad with just the one headlight that I've got right now. It's just the pain in the ass that this light keeps doing this, man. They might need to just move me to another truck. I don't know what's going on with it. It was fine for a long time, and then this. Before it was like it was going out all the time, but then I got it serviced again, and they seem to have fixed it. Until now, I don't know. I guess we'll see. There goes the sheriff too. Please don't pull me over. Alright, I guess he doesn't want me, you're gonna go around this guy. He is doing 45 and a 55. I'm trying to get home. What are you doing?
Give me 40 sticks of dynamite. Out this thing to give me 40 acres. I'll turn this rig around. It's the easiest way that I've found. Some guys can turn it on a dime or turn it right downtown. But I need 40 acres to turn this rig around.
Stop at truck stops. They just naturally think they should. Cause they figure any place a truck driver eats, the food's just got to be good. So they go out there amongst all them truck drivers, sitting around talking low. They're talking about women and stuff like that, and how fast them trucks will go. There's the little old place out on 66 where a lot of the drivers stop and get their kicks. A reckless eyeballing this waitress they got called Flo. There's always a bunch of you hanging out, cutting up and talking about how she wiggles when she walks and stuff like that, and how fast them trucks will go. What's a wonder fella can sit down and eat is how many eggs are his bread and meat with a good-looking woman like that around on the go. First thing you know, you get to fidgeting and fussing and nudging one another instead of discussing how she wiggles when she walks and stuff like that, and how fast them trucks will go. Old Flo, she just takes it all in stride and swells all up with her woman pride. She's tickled plumb pink you come in to see the show. She throws a little extra wiggle in that walk, and you just sit there and grin and talk about homemade loving and stuff like that, and how fast them trucks will go. I can't explain how it makes you feel, but you tip her $5 on a $2 meal. Get yourself together and start heading out kind of slow. While you're pushing that diesel on down the line, you get to thinking about your woman you left behind, how she wiggles when she walks and stuff like that, and how fast them trucks will go.
Widowmaker, were the words so bright and deep. Make us a bumper of a shiny ring. Billy Mack.